What is going on? I guess that is all we need to say. Nope, typically we go with what is going on. I'm zmot, but it feels like the community is just stuck at what is going on. Like, this has been insane. I'm gonna try to stay away from talking about bugs for this whole video, but first I wanted to cover 3 things. Then we'll get past the bugs and have a little bit of fun. There's still fun to be had. You just have to look a little bit further for it. Number 1. This is the important bit. They have said the fixes are done. They just need the stores to approve them. So hopefully tomorrow. Secondly, they've said they truly apologize. I know it sucks when they apologize. Do some testing. We've all volunteered to do testing for them. But anyways, beyond that, they're going to fix it. It's coming. If your bug is not in that list, then hopefully it will actually be fixed. I'm going to show you a dumb workaround. If you're one of those players who has not gotten a spawn in forever, you're sitting here waiting for something to attack, I've got a super stupid fix for you. So every single time I've had my radar open and staring at it and just watching it as it hits 0, I've gotten a spawn. I know that is not sustainable and it's stupid, but if you're one of those players who has not been getting spawns, do stare at it. You'll notice it doesn't go instantly. You got to kind of stare at it for a couple seconds and then it ticks over and all of a sudden you've got yourself a base. So it's not great. It's not ideal. But it does get you some spawns. At least it does for me anyways. And just a note that the log is super delayed. And so you'll click on things and the base won't actually be there because it's actually a different spawn. And I know all of these things are super duper frustrating. But imagine Warships Season 60. I want to show you one more thing before we move on. Critter launchers are absolutely insane. So this hit comes from Requiem of a Dream, and you'll notice that there's a critter following a group of Scorchers and Mechs and Bombardiers, and they make their way towards the flare, which is on that core. That is the important bit. There is an active flare here, so nothing is targeting those critters. Then the person runs out of GBE, I assume, and watch this. The pump fakes from those Bombardiers. The Bombardiers are so confused. They're like, there's a flare, but there's a critter, and I don't know what to do, and they're just delusional old men stuck not knowing what to do. So it ends up that critter, I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 critters there, end up taking all, look how, like, there's just a tiny sliver of health on that power core, and it just ends up being an absolute and utter failure. So there's bullet there, there's some mechs there that should be shocking things. I guess mechs can't shock critters, can they? Answer that question in the comments if you can. But look at these they need like 1 Bombardier to throw like 1 chuck. They just threw a new flare and the Bombardiers still aren't throwing. They're just so confused, and those mechs are standing in, bullets standing in, being all of the health tank. And they just need 1 Bombardier to throw 1 bomb towards that power core, and it just does not happen. It is absolutely bonkers. Hoping that this is fixed very soon, because if not, Season 63 of Warships is going to be a complete and utter gong show. Once people get in that tech tree and rush their butts to critter launchers, then it's going to be the most awkward season in the history of seasons, or maybe it'll just lock down Bombardiers, which people have been asking for a long time. Bombardiers and Heavy Choppas every season. We are going to carry on. Today is our good, and by the way, there's a bunch of good things in this update. Players that are around that point where everyone quits the game, which is like 480 victory points, are loving this update. I know it's hard to believe, but there is a group of players who are absolutely loving this update. just trust me on that. They do exist. I know that's kind of crazy, but they are out there. Let's see how much health we have on those things. So should be able to get rid of you. Down go the shock launchers. Do have our barrage tribe boosted, and at least one of you have made a comment on my YouTube that I won't tolerate. Like, yes, we're all pissed off. Yes, it sucks that there's bugs, but comments like, someone go kill Supercell for me, there's no place for that anywhere. Like, that is just ignorant and stupid. So I'm just going to ignore the fact that that happened, and we'll move on, and 99.9% of you are realizing that this is just a blip in the matrix. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it affects some people more than others, but at the end of the day, it's been like a day. So simmer, take a breath. That's why in yesterday's video I used the heavy doing the yoga for a very good reason, because we just need to chillax. And I'm not trying to minimize this at all. I fully understand that people have spent a boatload of money on this game, a boatload of time on this game, and it sucks when you're losing victory points, or one person's actually account got locked out. D-Man, I'm not sure if hopefully you've resolved that by now. Anyways, patience. Hopefully you guys can retain patience for another day, because it seems like a fix is coming, but we have no way of knowing until tomorrow. So, Mega Crab is gonna really suck with fewer critters, but on the plus side, there are no critter launchers in the Mega Crab that I'm aware of. So that at least is something. It means that you don't have to worry about the critter issue on the Mega Crab. So hopefully the Mega Crab will continue as per normal. Now, if you are a max level player and you are spawning like HQ level 11 players, maybe don't attack them during the Mega Crab. They need those resources to keep those upgrades going. What I've been doing is throwing artillery on... You know what? Let's get the heck out of here. Throwing artillery onto their bad statues and flares onto their good statues, trying to let them know, hey, there are better ways out there. And speaking of better ways, we will... Why are we not retreating right now? Oh, there we go. Must have been hit by the shock mine or shock blaster, or maybe we found a new bug. Huzzah. And by the way, you'll notice that in Nuno's message, he talks about the ability to hack VP chests for too many rewards. I'm kind of surprised he included that, to be honest, because it's not fixed. So don't go exploit that, but it's kind of weird that they would mention that. That's the first time they've mentioned a negative bug when it still hasn't been patched. So, and at least one person said to me, I want to go see how that works by accidentally run into that bug. Like, just, I don't know. That one kind of struck me as odd that they would advertise it, but maybe that's their sorry for all of the issues. Nonetheless, hopefully your task force is getting enough intel. And if it's not, by the way, clearing mines with critters, so useless at the moment. Only getting a couple critters. And Nuno did mention that the critter thing seems to be something new coming. And if all of this was just to do tiny fixes, I would have far less tolerance about these issues. But it seems like all of these things are to get players playing more, get players more interested, not lose players, and to add new stuff to the game. The fact that they're making changes to add and improve, that's what's kept me involved here and kept me positive about this entire experience. War Factory down. I'm hoping that my video tomorrow will be all about, hey, the fixes are here, the game is normal. It's given me a little bit, and by the way, a bunch of you have commented and said thank you, because you wouldn't know what's going on otherwise. So I'm glad that at least that there's been a bunch of comments, people saying I thought it was just me. So if you're not in a task force, get in a task force. It's a great way to know what's going on. If you are alone in the world, by the way, this screen not going away, that is a great fix. Not having to click so many gosh darn buttons. Little things are getting better. Anyways, this account, I have been intentionally trying to get it to 0 victory points. That has been my goal, and this new update has done very well for me. Rated all sorts of times by high-level players, so helping me obtain silly goals. We're going to use this account to do War Factory. Don't have any diamonds to refresh, so we can't screw this up too badly. We have the remote hack. We have Everspark. We're going to send Everspark in here. We're going to click the hack button. We're going to throw that back there. Now, I don't know if marking actually still works at the second. We will find out very soon on this attack. Typically, Everspark would target the most damage defense that's in her range. We don't... Let's see. What has she targeted? I don't actually know, because I've smoked too soon, so... We are going to do one more of the hacks, then we'll do a double hack and see what she actually targets, and she died. The lasers got her in the face, so that was not ideal under any circumstances. We are going to get rid of that Doom Cannon. Down it goes. We're going to get rid of that Doom Cannon. Down it goes. And then finally, last but not least, we are going to throw one more onto that Doom Cannon, getting it down as well. I have not boosted tribes in this account because I don't play this account like ever. So we're just going to throw a bunch of artillery onto those rocket launchers, and we have done a decent job, even though we did a crappy job with Everspark. So those lasers are not to be trifled with if you're using Everspark. Maybe you want to flare her like over into like this neighborhood. Just get her as far as you possibly can, trying to keep her out of the range of things like boom cannons, and then we're going to come back and we'll hit those shock launchers from behind and hopefully not get wrecked by lasers in the process. So we are going to flare to there, and I am almost certain that she's going to pop out of smoke and then throw the hack, and then we're going to get that last and final, come on, let's get onto there, and then we're going to throw a med kit and just hope the double, you know what, I'm going to throw a shock over here just to be extra sure. There is hack number 1, there is hack number 2, so Everspark's targeting still does work. She still does target the most damage defenses. That is super clutch. And then just using all of our barrage on those rocket launchers. Rocket launchers have the lowest health, and so we should be able to clear all of them eventually with our GBE. Gotten rid of the shock launchers, gotten rid of the doom cannons. Remote hack is an amazing ability, except when there's not enough damage nearby, unfortunately. So we are going to retreat. That doom cannon is going to be a bit of a problem for later, but I think we can actually use that doom cannon to our advantage at the same time. So next up, just don't use troops. You don't need to use troops for the most part. I am going to go like this, getting rid of the laser, throwing our GBE last. Don't want to waste our GBE quite yet. Lasers have been a complete pain. Maybe you want to use your remote hack in different order so those lasers aren't such a pain in the butt for Everspark, but you can see we're just clearing all of the important details using our GBE wisely and throwing barrages, throwing artilleries, and at this point we're in pretty darn good shape. I think we've used 3 attacks, so it's all single shots except for those annoying hotpots. And I say annoying hotpots because low levels really struggle with hotpots because you can't pop them up. So not being able, I mean, maybe you can do Everspark's Critter Swarm or use Everspark's Critters to get there. We are going to clear 2 buildings and only 2 buildings. That way we get an artillery. If you have never seen me do this style of attack before, do let me know. I used to do these every single week, but time zones were a little teeny tiny bit different. War Factory. You don't have to send troops, and you just work your way through it. And by the way, for low levels, do the same thing for the Mega Crab. 40 attacks is a ton. Weaken the stages, wait for your upgrades to finish. You don't need to use any troops. We will now jump on in. We're going to use one more to soften this up. That is a little bit risky. I tend to try to take the core down on this attack. Let's get rid of that shock blaster because it's going to be slightly annoying. And then getting our artilleries out on those rocket launchers. That Doom Cannon actually helped us out a little bit. And now rather than waste all of our barrage on it, I'm going to go something like that. And we talked about how it's tough for low levels to deal with hotpots. Well, not when you have this wonderful button right here. Just getting rid of all of the hotpots one by stinking little one. And now we're going to drop all of our stuff right about here and hack that and shock that hotpot because it is up, and once it's up, you want to keep it up as long as you possibly can. That goes for many things in life. As our troops work their way towards that hotpot, clearing out all of the things, and then finally, we're going to get rid of that mortar as well, because mortars are a pain in the butt for single shot troops, I should say. And I guess all troops. Anyways, for squishy troops. So we have cleared everything on that right-hand side. We've gotten rid of every laser, every rocket launcher, every shock launcher, every Doom Cannon. Not every Doom Cannon. I take it back. That is still a Doom Cannon back there. I just noticed. So now we should be able to just cruise on in. Don't use your remote hack on that Doom Cannon so much. It likes to stay alive, but we are going to switch to critters. No, we're going to stay with not critter swarm. Due to the critter swarm issues, we're just going to keep going right. And I know that not all of you have as much GBE as I do unboosted, but there are ways to solve that. Throw a mini boost in. Oh no, Everspark, no! Okay, barely escaping. That boom cannon was all about it. Barrage back there. Barrage in there, and they're just clearing all of the things, letting our critters accumulate. Everspark's passive critters do keep coming. You do get 12 of them, and then we're just going to keep chucking remote hacks on some remote things, trying to use boom cannons against their own friends. We're going to throw some shocks. Typically, the idea of throwing shocks against single shot defenses when you have lots and lots of squishy troops is a little bit silly, but we're going to do it anyways just because why the heck not? Remote hacks left, right, and center. There's no reason why we should not finish this base. Like, everything is going our way here. Just going to get over into this side, clear towards that core, and I mean, I'd be very amazed. I didn't check the health of that shield. There's only 4 shields on that left-hand side. Should be able to just absolutely walk through this with no difficulty. Let's throw a remote hack on that hotpot just to try to keep a few of our extra critters alive. That might give us a tiny bit of extra damage as we move into about there and just burn through the shields. So lots and lots of good things at the second, lots and lots of not so good things as well. Hopefully you guys can focus on the positive. Remote hack is a lot of fun. Getting operation solos on maps that you might have never gotten them on, and knowing at least there's like one small group of players that are enjoying this update, which means that they should enjoy it once it's fixed. I think that those players that are like those active players, the players that are low headquarters levels but attacking things, having fun, as soon as you go from spawning an XP 42 to spawning an XP 78 overnight, you just stop playing the game, and we need those players to keep playing, to keep this game going. So I am getting all sorts of missions. By the way, if you are struggling with this mission, where are you? Come on. Where is the unique troops? Unique troops. Come on, it's got to be here somewhere. Win with unique troops. Where are we? Maybe I'm not going to be able to find it. Maybe I don't. Oh, there we go. Win with unique troops. If you're struggling to take this one, just use bullet. Only bullet, no landing crafts, and for some reason it works. So that has been another big question That is all for me, though. Hopefully, the last of the bug videos. The next one, hopefully, will be a fix and a sneak peek and all sorts of fun. So, I'm also hoping to be able to get this account to 0 victory points. So hopefully you guys, if you keep seeing me on your map, keep raiding me, keep the raids coming. Do it. I'm gonna move. Why? I can't believe someone would fail on this base. That is bonkers. Maybe I have a different troop loadout. Let's go something like beach. Let's load our beach layout. There we go. I am putting my headquarters at shore. And a bunch of you have said, well, you're getting low-level players. You're putting your headquarters at shore. So thanks for being a team player. I shall talk to you soon, though. Hopefully when things are better. And thanks to all of you who have been civil. And I mean, if you can't laugh at this, then what can you laugh at? And I know that might minimize it for some of you who are like pushing leaderboards and not able to keep up with things or hit by bugs. So hang in there. Hopefully good things are coming. I'm zmot. Thanks for coming in. Peace.